What is going on, everybody? My name is Bearridge. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be bringing you another custom tactics and player instructions review. Today, we're going to be looking at Harry Hesketh's 4-3-1-2 custom tactics. He's one of the best FIFA players at the moment. Formerly a pro, has reached semi-finals of many EA competition, so these are fantastic, and he uses them in weekend league, gets 30-0 constantly each week. I have been using them myself. Obviously I'm nowhere near his level, but they have definitely helped me get more wins in the weekend league, which is why I'm sharing them with you guys. They've been tried and tested by a lesser player like myself. So if you find this video helpful and you go on to use his custom tactics and they help you out a lot, really appreciate it if you left me a like. And if you want to see more formation reviews, hit subscribe. Without any further ado, we're going to get into the custom tactics. In fact, I actually have two, well, Harry has two for you here. So moving in to the game plan, the first one, and sort of the one that he uses the most, is this one in the attacking. So as you can see, he has press after possession loss, the width is on 5, and the depth is on 7. Now, for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you'll know that this combination of press after possession loss and depth of 7 is something that I use on my 4-3-3-2 custom tactics. And so finding out that these are what he uses in this formation was an absolute win for myself. And they still work perfectly for me in this formation. So for me, this is the perfect balance between aggressively winning the ball back. That's what your press after possession loss does. Helps you win the ball back. Gives you almost like constant pressure, but for only 7 seconds. I find it's great for winning the ball really quickly and high up the pitch. Gives me more attacking opportunities. And then the depth on 7, I find that anything sort of 5 and lower is too passive. And I find that if you go all the way out and you go 10, way too aggressive. This is like a nice middle ground for sort of like someone that wants to be a little bit more aggressive, wants to be a little bit more pressing, but doesn't want to be giving away too much. There are still going to be issues with the counter attack doing it this way, and you'll see why when we get into the instructions. The width is just on 5. It's a nice balance. It's not a particularly wide formation, obviously with your camo 2 strikers, but we have the fullbacks providing width, so we don't want them to go too far wide. We need them to be a little bit narrow. But yeah, so we balance at 5 for the width, and that works out quite nicely. Moving on to the offensive style, gone with long ball, because I mean, people think long ball means like you hoof the ball over the top. That isn't the case. You want to use it. It basically helps send players on runs. It's really good for finding through balls, especially when you're counter-attacking. And so, yeah, it helps players go down the line, and it also helps your fullbacks make runs for you down the line as well. Obviously, you can trigger them yourself with L1, but long ball just helps with that. In that sense, I have seen a few people use this formation, and they've used fast build-up. I haven't tried it with fast build-up, but if you don't find long balls working for you and you want a little bit more aggression, a little bit more pace in the build-up, then try that. The only thing that puts me off fast build-up is that it drains your stamina quite a lot. That's why I've been sticking with long ball. Width of 5 again, just because it's a nice balance. Players in the box 6, basically. We want to get our strikers and our cams in the box, and also we'll have our centre mid sort of joining us well. Again, you'll see in the instructions in a minute. Corners and free kicks, we just leave them on 2, so that it's sort of below the balance. We want to just reduce that that counter-attacking opportunity. I mean, for corners, for example, I always play it short anyway, so I don't really want people in the box. I want people around the edge of the box to then build up with free kicks. I tend to send the second and third people standing over the ball and make them run over it and then pass to them anyway. So again, I don't need people in the box, so I'm just reducing that counter-attack possibility. So that's why that is how they are. If we move to the instructions, so starting from the back, goalkeeper, leave them as they are. Centre backs, we want to leave them as they are as well. Don't touch those 3. The default is fine on them. For the fullbacks, we have them on overlap because we want them to make those runs out wide and provide the width that we were talking about earlier. Obviously, like I said, not a wide formation, But they do have effectively their own channel to get forward, and we do want them to get forward. And that comes on the other thing. Like, normally people will have their fullbacks on stay back. We don't want to do that. We want to leave them on balance so that they do get forward to some extent. If you go join the attack, that's way too far overkill. We still need some defensive cover by leaving them on balance, because as you will have noticed, if we've got this on both of them, then effectively what we're doing here is leaving ourselves with just 2 centre-backs to do the defending. This is slightly rectified with Marquinhos being the centre mid. He is your sort of CDM-like player. We got him on stay back whilst attacking and cover center, so he does provide some defensive support for us. But yeah, it is effectively just these 3 players that do the defending work. Then moving on to the center mid instructions, these guys are literally just on get into the box for crosses. Again, like we want them to be getting in and providing us opportunities. They'll sort of arrive late, overlap, and you can play a few balls in there. Auer has scored quite a lot of goals for me over the last few weekends, and Figueira has also come in with his fair share as well. The one thing I would recommend for this position is you want to play the left centre mid. You want him to be left-footed, and the right centre mid you want him to be right-footed, because predominantly they score most of their goals for a cross shot, so that's what you're looking for there. Then for the cam, you want them on stay forward. This is an absolute must. We don't want them to be coming back and offering defensive support. We need them up there so that when we get the ball, we want to counter and we want to attack. They're the player that you want to get the ball to. You want to find them, and then you can play out from there. So they're your key creator. Once they get the ball, the 2 strikers will start making their runs. And obviously the centre mids will start coming in as well, the fullback. So it's a very attacking formation. So you need a cam that can do everything for you, and they are they're your key player. So I use Depay here, just because he's one of the best players for me. I just really enjoy him. But if you have someone like Neymar, he'd probably be absolutely perfect in this position. And then the strikers, they're just on stay central. We don't want them going too far wide. We need them in the box. We want them in there so that we can play the ball into them, turn and shoot. And so I had Robin in here because he's pretty good with the across goals and the finesse shots. And then Bergwijn, who is absolutely cracked, phenomenal player, and he carried me through weekend league basically. If you haven't used him, 100% recommend him. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, so they're these are the instructions for sort of the one that he uses most of the time. He also has a 4-3-1-2 variation, which is a little bit more balanced, as you can see. So balanced defensive style, 5-5, balanced defensive width, 5-6-2-2. This formation is basically designed to hold on to games. It's to help you control them a bit more. If you're leading by a couple of goals, you might want to switch to this more balanced style so that you can lose the ball less. As you'll see from the instructions, we have the fullbacks now on stay back whilst attacking, so we're not committing as far forward as much. We still leave Marquinhos on stay back whilst attacking cover centre, but this time the 2 wide players are now also stay back whilst attacking and cover centre. There's a lot less going forward. The cam is still on stay forward, and the 2 strikers are still on stay central. So as you can see, much more balanced. And yeah, so I use this 2 sort of scenarios. One, if I just starting a game and I want to feel what my opponent's going to be doing, see how attacking they are, see if they're susceptible to making mistakes, just to get an idea of my opponent. And then also if I'm leading by 2 goals, I'll switch this just to calm it down, control the game, and that way. The other way that Harry uses it is that if he's just got back into a game from a couple of goals down, and it's coming out to extra time, he'll switch to this to make sure that he gets to extra time so that he can win after 90 minutes and win in extra time. So if you're a confident player, then you can also use it in that scenario as well. But obviously, like, all formations don't always work. So I also have an ultra defensive tactic. I'm going to do a video on that soon. And that's sort of my absolute hold out a game tactic. And then I still have my 4-3-2 as a alternate strategy that I can switch to because it offers me a bit of width. And yeah, I 100% recommend both of these tactics. They were been a lot of fun. As you can see, very attacking, very aggressive. And it's a lot of fun beating people. I find it's a pretty good counter to those that are playing 5 at the back as well. So for that sense, it's definitely a win. So there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed that video. Leave a like and subscribe. Let me know how you get on with them. If you've got any questions, then feel free to leave them down below. But this is where I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Bearridge, and I will catch you all next time.